doing it. You supposed to be happy you sitting there with Kid L. Why you mad?
The Kid L podcast.
Asaka the Renegade is in the building, man. How you doing today, bro?
Yes, sir. Can't complain at all.
We've been doing a lot of underground hip hop scene. We've had a lot of underground hip hop scene artists on the show recently, man. And it's crazy to see that the scene is flourishing in its own way.
Yes, sir.
There's still a very strong base of hip hop heads and people that love the substance and the, actual poetry of what hip hop is meant to be.
Facts.
You're one of the guys that's helping it push it forward. The underground scene is staying strong partly due to you and your energy and what you bring to these performances.
I appreciate that, man.
What's been new since the last time you've been on here, bro?
A lot, man. I dropped another project. Did the Pistons game. I just threw my own concert literally a couple days ago.
You did the Pistons game?
I did this. They had this new program called Allied 313. If I'm not mistaken, it was a brand new segment. So instead of like where they do the halftime thing, they have like this big banner like in the crowd, and you kind of perform with the crowd like during the timeout.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it was fire. So I did that.
Did Aaron get you a part of that, or who put you in position?
Oh yeah, no, that was good. Shout out to AJ for sure. He definitely got me together with that. It was fire.
Yeah, he's legendary, man. He's looking out for everybody in Detroit.
Absolutely, and I love it because it was no bias, it was no malice. He gave me opportunity, and I did my thing.
Anytime I think about you, I think about the first time I seen you perform. It was this like showcase event, and some artists had went up performed, and I was just sitting there. I was like, whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And then you came through, made the whole crowd just jump, go nuts. And I was just watching this energy, and I'm like, what is going on? Who are you? How come I haven't heard about you? Because when you look at like the top 30 list of Detroit rappers and stuff like that, you're never on the list, obviously.
Never on the list, yeah.
That's
okay.
It's okay, but there is something to be said about that you are one of the most hype hip-hop artists in Detroit, and the music and everything backs it up as well. So it is kind of sad when you don't see you on those, but it's also sometimes the guys who break out aren't the guys that are on that list. The guys who actually make it, the guys who actually break out to mainstream aren't always on those lists in the beginning.
Yeah.
But you've been at it for a while, man. How long do you think you've been making music for?
I've been making music for a long time, probably like 8 or 9 years now, but it was a hobby at first. I didn't really start taking my first couple steps towards actually being a professional artist until like 2017. Mm-hmm. So I think because I think that's around when my first mixtape dropped, was on SoundCloud. So, but yeah, since like 2017, I would say I've really been invested.
So 5 years isn't that long of a run, but it's a long run still, right? At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, and it's still a testament to how bad you want it for real. Because a lot of people go through these windows where they kind of like give up because it's not really moving the way that they wanted to. But I feel like with music, it's one of those things. It's just like it's a for sure fire way to do it, and it's always at the base of just doing the work. Mm-hmm. So that's been my whole thesis as far as like I don't really care how long it takes. I don't really care about the lists and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I'm putting in the work. That's all I care about.
When you talk about some of the OGs that represent the same demographic as music that you are placing yourself in, would you consider it hip hop? Was it more so hip hop and as far as what you're putting out on the table?
Yeah, definitely. I am very versatile, so I do have a bunch of other genres that I tap into. R&B being another one of the main ones, but yeah, definitely forefront of hip hop.
So when you look at some of the figures that stand by the substance of it and what it is and the art of it, you look at people like Royce da 5'9", right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, do people like that reach out to you ever and acknowledge what you got going on?
No, so I won't say that they reach out to me. I have, and Royce is actually my favorite rapper, like my favorite Detroit rapper. I've met him on I was in the studio he was in with my home. Shout out my boy Courtney Bell. We was in there for him, so I didn't want to like break away and it's my favorite rapper. You know what I'm saying? But aside from that, no, I really don't. A lot of people don't really reach out to me, man. And it's fine. Like I don't. I'm kind of on this wave where the last time I sat here, I was in the mindset of like I really want to like impress the city, and it's not that I don't want to anymore. It's just that I don't look for it. I want to be undeniable. So when these people do start reaching out, it's genuine. It's not just a money grab or nothing like that. But no, a lot of these people don't really reach out. I have met some people in passing though.
That's the interesting thing because you've proven that you can generate your own fan base. Like you have your own fan base. You have a core strong people that will show up and see you and support you and buy your music and listen to everything you got coming out. So I mean, I know it's kind of a rough question, but collectively, how many super fans do you have? How many people do you have that are strong supporters and can help you make a living just off of music right now?
If I'm being totally like transparent, if I'm going off of my concert, right? Because the concert I just had was my concert. Like I put it together. Shout out to Deluxe Flux for having me. We sold about like roughly 200 tickets.
Beautiful.
So I would say roughly about like 150 to 200 like super fans, because a lot of those people were like brand new. They just came with their friends and stuff like that. But as far as super fans, I would say like in a numbers game, probably like 150 to 200, somewhere around there.
Right, and that's great for an artist, obviously, because when if you sell a CD, or if you have a ticket concert, that's a ticket sold and the CD sold, right? So that helps a lot. But your streams are generating quite a lot of views as well. So
Yes, sir.
it's like you're proving that you're a self-contained artist that's doing it and seeing results from it. But you want to get it to the next level, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Now, in the spectrum of things, right, there's different types of hip-hop, there's different types of rap artists, there's, like we said, there's different genres for it. You got, like, the Kendrick Lamars, right, but then you got the Drakes, but then you got, like, who's like a rapper that's just a straight-up rapper? Like, Thug, like, I don't know, like, who's just a rapper?
Like...
Busta Rhymes? Nah. No, I'm talking about rappers. That's like a street rapper. That's like
ESTG, stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? So then you got those demographics. There's just different types of rappers and stuff like that. But do you find that core demographic to make it to like the J. Cole area, the Kendrick Lamar area, that it's harder to reach that type of audience or build that type of audience?
I would actually say it's a little easier, because usually the people that like really gravitates like towards Cole and Kendrick and those type of artists, they're more eclectic, so they're more susceptible to listening to an artist like me, who's like not the typical street rapper, but he's not the typical R&B guy either. He's like in the middle. They're more open to listening to an artist like me. I think it's more difficult to accumulate that demographic here because of our sound, and it's not a complaint. Like, it is what it is. We know how we sound here, but I actually feel like it's a little easier. The thing is keeping their attention because of who their attention is on. Like, as far as Cole and Kendrick and those type of artists, I think that's where the difficulty lies. And like, okay, you not sound like these guys, but you sound like you can be in this category. But okay, we already got these guys. What are you doing different? And that's kind of been my whole goal. Like, okay, you have the Kendricks who just rap, the Coles. You have the Drakes who sing and rap, but then I'm in the middle, because I'm singing, but I'm still lyrical. It's like a melodic lyricist, so it's different. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where, when you have your own lane and your own niche, if you will, that's when it becomes easier and easier and easier to accumulate that audience with those demographics specifically.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I totally can see that. And you're basically, all you can do is your best, is what you're saying at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So it's like now you can try to push yourself to one of the categories, but just to keep enhancing yourself until you fall wherever you end up falling.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, one thing about music that, even I didn't even believe at first, but it's really the truth. Like, you fall where the fans want you to fall. Like, you can come out and say, like, I'm a street rapper and this and the third, and then you might do 1 or 2 R&B songs, but they like these songs better than your street songs. Now you're an R&B artist. You know what I mean? It's about how the people receive you, and at the end of the day, if it's as long as it's you, that's okay.
Yeah, I was talking to G-Mac Cash about that, because I feel like because of people fell in love with the comedic role, but then he was dropping like his straight up street rap songs,
which is fire too.
He's a lyricist. That guy is legendary.
Absolutely.
But where did the fans fall? More in the comedic stuff, the stuff that was a high replay value, the stuff that made people laugh and more enjoyed the music, was coming from that and more than the actual street rap sound. You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting. So, for you, it's just about creating your best work, which is every artist should kind of follow in that lane. Where it's just like, just create your best, just keep creating the best that you can, and then where people will put you was where they put you. And you can't really be upset about it either, because let's just say you get put into the R&B lane, right, more than you do get into something that you care more about. Maybe hip hop's more of your thing.
And I do. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, right. So, but it's like, dude, you got to do you want to be a starving artist? Is the question. Like, do you really want to be a starving artist forever? Yeah. So, how have you found the guidelines as far as knowing how much you can push something until the money doesn't make sense anymore?
I developed, well, I won't say I developed this philosophy. I've took it upon myself because I'm sure somebody probably thought about this. But I took an old saying that people say that they don't want to be as an artist, and I capitalize off of it. So one thing that a lot of artists say, and a lot of people will tell you, like, oh, you don't want to be put in a box, right? Mm-hmm. You hear that all the time. I think it's the opposite. I think, all right, you might not necessarily want to be put in a box, but being put in a box is not a bad thing. Being put in a box means you have an audience. There's people that listen to this specific thing from you, which means there's room to capitalize. So if it's something that you're presenting and you're not selling your soul to do it, and it's a part of your artistry, there's nothing wrong with people coming back and saying, okay, this is cool, but we like this from you, though. No. You know, prime example, I have a song, you know, The Bag is my biggest song. I'm tired of performing it. I am. But I love the song, and so does everybody else. And it's a song everybody knows me for. So if this is the sound that y'all want from me, and it's me, it's not like I don't enjoy making this type of sound. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. And I think that's what really pushed me to the point where I said, okay, you know what? I can push this to where it's like I'm not compromising who I am. I'm not compromising my music for no money. You know what I mean? I'm not stepping outside of my comfort zone. This is me, and this is what y'all like. So why not just give it to y'all? Right. Until I get to the point where I can be like, okay, we're going to shift to this now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still up and coming. You know what I'm saying? As many accolades as I have now, I'm still in that category to where it's like I have to give the people what they're asking me for.
For sure.
So that's kind of where
you're still creating what you want to create.
Exactly. You know. So what I do, I create what I'm asked for, and then I create what I want to create around it. So a lot of people don't know my biggest record been out for 4 years now, 3-4 years, but it just blew up. You know what I'm saying? So what I did, it was a single. I put a whole project around it. So I waited, built the project up. About a year passed. They still playing this one song. So I built the deluxe around it. Hey,
what do you mean it took 4 years for the song to get out there?
It took, so I dropped it. I had dropped my second album, Duality, I believe in like 2021 or 2020, something like that. I threw a concert for it because I was celebrating. That was my first time hitting over 100,000 streams. So I'm one of those guys. I like celebrating every milestone I can to bring my audience in to celebrate with me because I always feel like my audience helped me get to where I'm at. So in celebration, I dropped the bag. All right, we hit 100,000 views. I wasn't going to drop no music for another year or so, but since y'all ran it up, shit, we here. Here go this song. And I just threw it out there. I go to do the concert, and I think the song had only been out for like 2 weeks. And I opened the concert with that song, and I'm talking about wall to wall, everybody singing the song word for word. So I'm like, oh shit, like, okay, this song might be something more than what I thought it was. So I pushed the album first because this album was already out. But once I got done pushing the album, the song had been out for like a year. So then I started pushing that song. And then the more and more I pushed it, the next year it started getting bigger. The year after, now it's on the radio. And then here we are this year. It's on the radio. It's the whole city knows it, you know what I mean, respectfully. And everybody knows me for that song. Now, it's to the point where you might not even know my name, but if I go do a show and you hear, yeah, you automatically, oh, shit, I know that, you know what I'm saying? So it took all that time just off of me just throwing an idea out there to build the song up to where it is now to be able to do what I just did at Deluxe Flux with the concert.
So like that whole concept of people putting songs in the vault, does that kind of defeat that concept a little bit? Because if you can release a song and it can over time become a success and not just right away, then putting songs in the vault so that you can save them for when a label signs you or something like that, does that make it less like a viable? Like,
I think so, because I'm a firm believer in the reality of the situation. The reality is I'm not a major artist. So there's a plethora of songs of mine that a lot of people haven't heard, whether they listen to me or not. I'm a firm believer in, hey man, that song ain't pop. Drop that shit again. What was anybody gonna say? People that know it already are gonna flock to it. The people that don't, you know it's a hit record, put it back out. You know what I mean? So as far as putting songs in the vault, it's like a double-edged sword. I understand, because even with that mindset, sometimes I still hold a song because I'm like, okay, I feel like this is one of the ones. I feel like a label to really push it. But then at the same time, I'll have a song out and be like, well, if this is a sound that they like, I can take this song down and put it back out with them pushing it, if that works out that way, of course. So I really think it's acceptable to the artist. I don't really think it deters anything as far as like the type of music you put out. It's just if you're willing to drop it again, ain't nothing wrong with that. Nobody's heard it yet. You haven't broke your name into the world it's okay. I'm taking this shit down and putting it back out.
Yeah, plus think about it like this. Let's just say you have a banger song chilling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like that song is what's going to get you the audience that you need to surround you at this very moment for you to be able to consistently pursue your career.
Exactly.
And get bigger and bigger and bigger. So you do have to sacrifice some of the songs that you might have thought, I'm going to hold it till a label signs me for right now so you can build that fan base. And like you said, even so, let's just say 10,000 people heard that song and they're constantly rotating it. That's great. And then a label signs you and it's like, okay, now they're going to push to 500,000 other people who haven't heard the song. So we're straight either way.
There you go.
It's like all these artists always come on the couch. Always like, I have like 3,000 songs in the vault just waiting for that signature. And I'm like, kind of don't make sense because all your music sucks, man. Like, why don't you put the ones that you're saving in the vault for?
And then this my thing, like, you got to build your fan base because if you are one of those artists that want to get signed, that fan base is your leverage. So why not put those songs out that if you know, because artists, a lot of people, you know, they think this is a song. And there's a difference. There's a difference between, I think this is the record. But you know you got that one. Man, put that shit out and build your fan base. Because when them labels come look for you, one of the few things they're going to ask you, okay, like how many people can you bring out?
Yep.
I got on record, I'm on film with all the people I can bring out. I got my smash hit record already. I have no problem. Hey, I brought this many people out. We made this much money. We sold this much at the bar. I promoted it for a month. So on and so forth. Here's this hit record. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you got to look at how Netflix even signs comedians where, you know, they'll pay a comedian for their special based upon how many people showed up to their show.
Exactly.
So if it's like, all right, 3,000 people showed up to your special, your comedy special, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars to equate for how much your show sold. Now, if you go to a label and you don't have a fan base built up because you're holding back all your songs and not building your fan base, then they're going to look like, all right, well, how many people can you generate at a concert? Because we need to sell tickets here.
Exactly.
You have no receipts. You have nothing to prove to us what you can actually do.
Exactly.
Streaming numbers as well. So putting out your best work is freaking important instead of putting out stuff that you're like rationing, like, all right, well, you know, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit until the time's right.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, man, that nobody knows the exact blueprint because we're talking about it in a way that makes a lot of sense, but then somebody else's blueprint could be the complete opposite.
That's because that's the conception, the misconception of music. There is no blueprint.
Yeah.
It's what works for you. What works for me might not work for you. There's a template for sure. There's definitely like there's basic things that every artist can do, marketing, putting on shows, dropping music. But at the end of the day, everybody's blueprint is different for them. It's catered to them.
Yeah.
But putting out music is a template. That's basic. Any artist can do that. You know what I mean? And with us being underground, man, our biggest thing has to be consistency. We have to be consistent and we have to continuously show our face and drop. We got to be in people's faces all the time to where we don't have to anymore. If that makes sense.
That is the difference that I did see between the rap scene in Detroit and the underground scene in Detroit is that I do see more inconsistency in the underground artists. I do see better quality content, but I also see more of an inconsistency with the underground.
Yeah. It's harder, man. And not just woe is me, you feel me, because I'm underground, but our biggest problem is the acceptance. We know what our sound is. So with us, a lot, and I'm speaking, you know, very loosely. I'm grown and everybody else is grown, men and women. They got their own thought process. But I would like to think I'm speaking for the whole underground when I say it's a whole different ball game doing a style of music that is not genuinely accepted upon first listen, as opposed to what our sound normally is. You know, you can walk in the club and play some of that shit. Don't nobody even know who you are, but because it's our sound, somebody will just throw it on. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to us, we have to open your mind to even listen to our style of music for you to even play it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, right. That's why when a lot of artists come on here and they'll have the Eminem discussion or they'll have the Big Sean discussion where it's like, yeah, they're from here, but they don't have the bop. And the bop is what separates them from the underground to the mainstream. So, or what rap is to what bop is, right? So
Exactly.
Detroit has its own bop. You're from Detroit, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have your own style that doesn't match the bop, but you're still from here. So
Absolutely.
that must be a frustrating factor. G-Mac Cash Talk, I mean, I know I keep referring to him, but it is true where he says it's like, I'm from here, but I don't get treated like I'm from here.
At all. That's the number one thing I hear is like, bro, you don't even sound like you're from Detroit. And I can take that like, okay, I don't sound like I'm from Detroit, but I'm from Detroit. Now, where do we go from here? You know what I mean? Personally, I don't think that should matter. And that's honestly one of my goals. When I sat down here with you the first time, my mindset, like I said, was the acceptance. Like, okay, I want to be one of the guys to like break the mold and go, you know, interchange between our sound and us. Now it's more so I kind of want to bring underground to that same level to where it's like we have to bridge a gap at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look, I think his name is, I know, I'm so screwed up because he's been on my podcast, but Z-Loopers. I think it's Z-Loopers or Z-Loopers. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm bad with that stuff. But Z-Loopers came on and he talked about that. And it's so funny because look what the amount of success he got by not following what the trend was in Detroit. And that guy is working with Danny Brown. He's doing things.
That's fire.
You know what I'm saying? He's working
That's
with
fire.
Future and all this stuff. It's like, come on, bro. You know, so that's like, you have your own lane at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's harder because the people that, it's almost like you're creating this fire ass content and the people around you aren't like helping to light the flame. So it does become a little bit discouraging, even though you know you got something special.
Yeah.
But luckily you do have people supporting it. So it's almost like a conflicting thing where it's like, well, I'm getting support from here, but I'm not getting support from the majority. So it's kind of like a conflicting thought a little bit.
One thing with us that I noticed is that we're in the category of more so like accolades. So even though I do get the support, my support doesn't grow without results, right? Which is normal. But it's to the point where it's like it has to be something major, for example. And I love everybody that supports me now. I love all my new supporters. So this is not no shot or anything. But a lot of people that just started supporting me now didn't support me until they saw me with T-Pain. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, no, he's really doing it. Let's go to his show. Oh, let's promote his song. So it's more so like they don't believe in most of us underground artists until everybody believes, or until somebody that they really listen to is listening to me. T-Pain is a legend. There's a lot of people that grew up on T-Pain. I'm sure a lot of people was fucked up when they walked in the club and saw me next to him. It was like, oh shit. Like, so now all of a sudden it grows. And I'm fine with that. That's okay. Like that's part of the game, you know what I'm saying? But that's why it looks conflicting, because it's like, okay, this artist is doing, not even just talk about me, there's plenty of underground artists that are doing things that I'm doing and different things as well. It's an accolades game. It's like, okay, well, I know Vezo got a song with such and such and such and such, and he in this lane. Well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then when you pop out and do something on that magnitude of a Vezo or a Skilla Baby or something like that, now you get the attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why that's where it gets conflicting. But once you realize like it's an accolades game for real.
That's a part of it for sure. I do think it's a part of it, but also
It's a part of it for sure. Yeah.
The accolade is only a boost for that moment because you still have to prove that you got something afterwards.
No, for sure.
And if you were able to sustain the fan base that you got because after T-Pain, if you were able to sustain that, that's what real talent is, and that's what a real fan base is built off of.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that entire experience though working with T-Pain, man. I know he's been still on I think he's like on the music review podcast grind still a little bit.
So I don't think he's doing music reviews like that, but he's definitely on the gaming
is it?
Podcasting. Yeah.
I swear I seen him review music before.
No, he was doing it.
Okay.
So he was doing it for the March Music Madness series, which he was doing, which that's how I got his attention.
Okay.
Shout out Raven. She actually sent in one of my songs, and then he heard it, and then that's when he started doing his March Music Madness thing. So I sent March Music Madness, excuse me. So I sent him another record, and then that's why I wound up getting picked. But just the whole experience of working with T-Pain. T-Pain is like one of my goats. You know, he's one of the guys that I'm not gonna say I model my sound after, but as far as like how I think, like with harmonies and trying to think outside the box with the way that I sing and stuff like that, he's definitely one of those guys that influenced it. So growing up, listening to T-Pain and really modeling my, I guess, process after how he does his, and then being able to speak with him and be recognized by him, man, it was wonderful. It was so random, but it was so random. And it threw me off so bad because, when you meet a celebrity or somebody you look up to, you want to hit them with the speech like, oh my God, I'm so thankful for everything you've done. And, I couldn't even get it out. He hit me with it. And I was like, what? And he was like, hey man, thank you for the music you make. You're actually really talented. And it really messed me up. It was so random, but it wasn't even weird. Like, you meet celebrities, it's like bougie almost. But it was like, no, it was just like he was sitting right here just talking, and he was, hey, you all right, man? You good? You want some water or something? It's like, yeah.
I think artists generally, when they respect another artist, it's almost like we're in this community together at the end of the day. And so that respect is mutual at the end of the day. Sometimes I'll meet comedians that, for whatever reason, have massive respect towards me. They're like, respect the fuck out of everything you do. And I'm like, sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, I fuck with you. Like, what are you talking about?
But it'll fuck you up, though. Yeah. Like, because you be ready to say that to them, man. But I think that's the beautiful thing about art, man. Or just having a community in general. And I think
everybody in the entertainment industry, once you reach a certain level, there is a respect factor where people won't even believe that somebody else respects another person, or even like Eminem with Ice War Vezo. Like, you didn't know that. You didn't, like, when you see the exchange, we didn't know that Eminem fucked with Vezo like
and that's
that.
beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
That was fire.
It's a really cool thing, man, just to see that once you reach a certain level, that mutual respect makes you feel like you belong here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When Halibut came on here before and he was like, I'm a fan of what you're doing. I'm like, motherfucker, don't tell me you're a fan of what the fuck I'm doing. I've been listening to you forever, just sitting here going like, what the fuck? And it makes you like, oh, I do belong here. Oh, shit, fuck, I'm stupid. I'm an artist. I'm an entertainer at the end of the day. You got to believe that. If you're an upcoming artist or an entertainer, you got to believe that you really are one of the ones. You have to believe, like, I belong in the entertainment industry. I can't be shying away thinking that, you know, I don't belong in this yet. That doesn't mean to be arrogant or to be cocky about it, but it does mean to say, like, I'm going to put in the effort that I know I'm required to do it, so that way the respect stands here. Because the only people you lose respect for are the people who don't take it seriously. Like, there's artists that you'll never take seriously because they're not really serious artists. They're like either gimmick their way to the top. They have like a little hit moment or a little viral moment, and it's like, unless you're consistently doing that, I really don't give a damn. I'm getting sick too, man, because a lot of people will. I mean, I don't give a damn about people trying to come on the podcast, but sometimes people will have a little Instagram reel that will hit 600,000 views or something, and they're like, I'm viral. I made it. And I'm like,
man.
You think you're gonna? And then it's so funny because they'll go do somebody else's podcast. And I already knew not to have them on the show just because I already knew, like, their attitude and their cockiness and their arrogance made me not want to sit with them. But plus the fact that I knew we weren't going to generate any type of viewership from it. And then I'll see them go do somebody else's podcast, and it's exactly what I expected. That viral moment meant damn nothing. There was no return. Nobody gives a damn about you because you had a viral moment. But it's weird what happens to people's minds when they have a little viral moment, or they have a moment where they think they sought success. Maybe they stood next to somebody and be like, now I'm big shit or whatever the fuck. But real artists look right through that shit. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here. We're really doing this shit. We're not going to pay attention to guys who are just here to be in front of the camera, or to take the pictures, or to act like they're living this lifestyle that they're not really about. You see artists pop up all the time like they're rappers for real, but they just started rapping, and then they give up like 2 weeks later after they realize nobody fucks with them. Like, you're not an artist to me. So for you, it's a constant grind and proving that not only are you an artist, but that you're constantly putting in 100 every time you do something. And that's all that really fucking matters, right?
Yes, sir.
Put yourself. When you're watching the scene around you, who are some of the people that you do acknowledge and see that are on the grind just like you and might be not getting noticed, even though they do have an incredible talent and consistency, obviously?
Man, it's honestly a lot of people, because my scene is so, the underground scene, let me not say my scene, excuse me, but the scene that I'm in, as far as the underground, is filled with so much overlooked talent. I'm gonna feel bad because there's gonna be some people I'm not gonna be able to name that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I gotta shout out everybody that just did my concert. Shout out my brother Jazz. He's an R&B singer in Detroit. He's absolutely fire. And my bro Michael. They're really close friends. These guys are the type of R&B artists that can like redefine R&B in Detroit. Asia as well. My brother K Huff, you know what I'm saying? My brother's vice versa. Like, these guys really, my bro YD, these guys are really hard workers, and they have the same dilemma that I have, because it's like, you know, we're Detroit, so it's like it's only certain sounds that we're just gonna give a praise immediately. But these guys, like, and these ladies as well, Miss Christiana, I can name a bunch of people out, bro. It's like our scene is so full of like just like professional level talent, you know what I mean? And it gets difficult to try to, I don't want to say force our way into that other side of Detroit, but it becomes a hassle, you know, regardless of the amount of talent they have. But these people work so hard, and it's a bunch more people. I'm sorry, I can't name everybody, but it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. My dog Polo Frost, like, and he should be out of here. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason, and he's already out of here like well enough. But prime example, like, but Polo don't make, you know, the type of music you want to hear, but he has like 4 or 5 viral hits every time he puts something out. He go viral. You know what I'm saying? What is the problem? You know what I'm saying? But it's hella people.
You
man.
do wonder that sometimes, like, the guys that are dominating in the Detroit rap scene, if they could just be like, let's mix up the underground with us for a second. I think the only person that is,
fire.
You know who I just talked to that was interesting is Stretch Money, and
I just did a show with him.
You just did a show with
I
Stretch?
just shout out my dude Valid. and Stretch Money. They had a free concert for their project, their joint project, and they had me open, and it was fire. Unfortunately, I had to leave because I had another booking, but to be there and do that show with them, and it was fire.
I would say that that's the person that's gonna help propagate the underground scene and intertwine it with the Detroit rap scene. Stretch Money.
Yeah, I can see that.
And what he did with Valid is a prime example of that. And that showcase that you guys that event you guys went to, or you guys performed at, I'm sorry, the event you performed at, it had a very diverse group of different hip hop heads, from the street rap to the regular rap to the hip hop heads to the lyricists, to all these mixed individuals that appreciate different sounds were there. So I think Stretch Money is going to be the one that helps elevate the underground scene and bring it to the forefront of Detroit rap.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that, because he's still. I didn't even gonna lie to you. I didn't even know Dog was still active like that. Like, until I seen him in Valid doing their thing, and I said, bro, not only do he still got it, but he not big headed to where he can't come back to the underground scene and be like, man, no, I want to. He could have had that's Stretch Money. You know what I'm saying? He could have had anybody do that concert, but he came back to the, I'm gonna come to the underground. Hey, these dudes fire. And then shout out Valid as well, because he reached around and he could have did anything. You got Stretch Money. You got a project with Stretch Money, bro. Y'all came back and talked to us, the underground. Hey, man, no, we want to mix this up. So I can absolutely see that. That's fire.
If he does it, dude, that's gonna be so legendary. Because it's like everybody else that had the chance to do it. I mean, I'm not trying to be like resentful towards people, but I am gonna be resentful. Like, when you see this many talented cats in the underground scene, and you couldn't find any way to implement their music into your sound and help build both platforms, that's like shameful at the end of the day.
They don't want to, bro.
Yeah, it's very easy to do it. That's why Courtney Bells and stuff like that, like, they're trying their hardest. Like, they are doing everything it takes to find that mixture of the street rap and the hip hop culture and intertwine it. But it needs to be done more, because, like I said earlier, bro, like, come on, man. Some of the music that's being put out is like, not only is it not influential in a positive manner, but it also sucks ass.
It's fucking
I was
trash.
saying earlier, I was saying, like, all right, man, if your music is incredible and it's not influential, if it's incredible, it sounds incredible, but it's not influential, I'll give you the pass. But when it sounds like ass and it's not influential, then you need to try something new at this point. So get the guys in the underground involved, because they're going to add substance. They're going to add the craft of what actually creating a hip-hop sound is. And they also have their own audience that's going to play the songs. But, you know, artists always go like, the whole conversation about collaborations and features is this: they're not going to bring any listeners in. They're not going to bring anybody in. They're not going to make us any more money.
That shit kill me, bro.
So it's like it's like boxing matches. Like, if one fighter is not going to book another fighter unless that other fighter has equal amount of fan base or something substantial enough where everybody's going to make a lot of money. So if two major Detroit rappers are going to do a song together, they're going to make sure they're going to make money off this fucking shit they're about to pull off.
Of course, but the problem is it's going to sound like every fucking thing else y'all did. That's the whole purpose of collaborations, bro. I will never be so big to where I won't collaborate with somebody outside of my comfort zone, because the whole key to relevancy and revenue as far as the music industry is to stay fresh. All you niggas sound the same. All of y'all. Respectfully. And some of it's good, some of it's not. It is what it is. It's going to go regardless because it's sound. But when y'all bridge that gap between the mainstream Detroit and the underground, that's when the fresh material comes in. And then you talking about generating money. That's how you build and keep your fan base. Oh, he's not willing to step outside his comfort zone and try something new with these underground artists. Bet. I can appreciate that. It's artistry. I understand. I was having a conversation with one of my homeboys. Shout out LJ. That's another person who's busting his ass too. I just had a conversation with him, and he said something very interesting to me. He was like, "It's getting weird because a lot of people turn art into business, right? But by not collaborating, that's what that is. You're making it all about business, and that's fine. But I'm in the business of turning business into art. We can collaborate. All right, we might not make all the bread in the world right now, but we're going to build something, a foundation that is not yet been done, and capitalize off of that. Imagine how much money you get off the same shit you've been putting out compared to something brand new that nobody's ever done.
Facts.
It's different, bro. You want to make money, you want to make history. Both.
That's beautifully put. That's straight up exactly the way it should be done. Can you turn that microphone into yourself a little bit?
Oh, yep.
Yep, there, right there. And I was gonna bring up an artist that I did see do. I'm not talking about a Detroit artist, but the only person that I've seen in the mainstream that broke out like that recently was Larry June. I think Larry June does a great job of just blending that street rap with that hip hop and just really just putting it together in such an intricate and so chill way. It's just like the perfect.
Yeah.
Larry June is right now to me probably my favorite artist that's combined the two elements of street rap and hip hop together. I would say that he's my favorite artist that's doing that in the mainstream as of right now. And
I'm not mad at that. I'm not a super big Larry June listener, but I do love. No, I know people be killing me for that, but it's no reason. It's just I got hip to him too late. That's what it is. I didn't know about him, so I just heard 91 like probably like a month ago. I'm late as hell.
He's done it though.
He's fired though. He's
that
fired.
blend is just perfect. Hip hop, rap.
I can see that.
That beautiful blend and just such chill vibes. It does. I'm not gonna lie. He does get redundant. I will say that. Like it is damn near the same song every time you listen to him, but it's still catchy and still fucking fun.
That's fair.
It's still fun as fuck though. It's like watching a porn actress in the same porno. It's like, all right, you bitch, like you know what I'm saying, different pornos, whatever, same bitch.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, if you like it, it's not a big deal.
That's what I was saying earlier about that box. Like, all right, look, if you in the box, if it what Vezo say when they ask him about making them same song, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Somebody y'all like this shit to where y'all man, Larry June is another example apparently because I need to get more into his catalog because he's fire.
He is super
but
fire.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, bro.
So as far as your developing of your music right now, you have like summer packs coming out, right? Like that's what. So all these, I like how you name it that too.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's actually pretty damn clever.
Thank you.
I think that's really awesome. I like that design and I like the way you're putting it out. But are you gonna keep pushing that same type of catalog over and over, or how do you plan to do it?
I thought about that. So I'm actually working on my next album right now. So the whole thing with the concert was to celebrate the space tape and then like move past it because it's been like 2 years now. So it's funny you asked me because I literally just thought about this today about doing like seasonal packs. So when I did the summer pack, it was really because I had this one big record that my management team wanted me to put out, but I had 2 more records that I feel like, go around it. Like I said earlier, I put out the sound that y'all want, and then I create something around it. So I feel like that was the idea of it, but I left it at that. And I dropped it on my birthday, so it was really just to put something out. But I thought about it today. I was like, man, a fall pack would be fire, or a winter pack, you know what I mean? So I really thought about that. I'm gonna get back to you on that. I'm thinking about that though. I'm thinking that's something I would want to do until I drop the album.
When you look at your streams and everything, like, are you able to sustain make a living just off of music right now?
I could, but I like working, so I'm not joking.
How many how many streams are you averagely seeing, like, and how many of it is returning fans when you look at your streams?
When I look at my streams as far as returning fans, I can pride myself and say that a lot of people who give me that first listen always come back because I really believe I have something for everybody. Even if they don't give it a chance, I have something for everybody. So a lot of it is returning. As far as like the revenue, it's like it's consistently going up. I can tell that me being consistent and putting out work and putting out just content in general surrounding my work, and then my image as well. Like, I'm not a street dude by no means. Like, I'm from the streets, I'm from the hood for sure, I'm from Pierce, you feel me? But I'm not part of that lifestyle. I have my own demographic of to where it's like a lot of my shit be self-defense and shit like that, but when I do pop my shit, but it's just more so like positive and R&B and stuff like that. A lot of those people stick around and they bring other people in, and then that revenue just continues to go up and up and up and up and up. My goal right now is to get to the point where, because I can maintain a living, I don't do this to maintain a living though. I want to be able to be comfortable and also have people around me be able to maintain a living as well and build from there. So that's where I'm trying to get to. I could I work a regular job and I have no problem saying that. A lot of rappers be having an issue. I don't give a fuck. I work a 9 to 5, 5 days out the week. I could quit my job right now if I wanted to, but I'm not where I want to be, and I'm not as big-headed to say like, oh, well, I made it, fuck it, you know what I'm saying?
Well, as long as you're getting the work done, as long as you're getting the music done, and as long as it's not your content's not suffering, then obviously having 9 to 5 is something that makes more sense because you can keep investing in your music at the end of the day.
And then on top of the fact that music is susceptible, which means it fluctuates. So there's going to be times where the market closes, like, for example, after Thanksgiving, the whole music industry shuts down pretty much. You need to bring in that money, you know what I'm saying? So I have no problem being like, I'm just working on the 5, fuck it. You know what I mean? But I can say that I am seeing the fruits of my labor with my streams. I actually just hit my first 1 million streams on a project, I think the day before the concert.
Really?
You know what I mean? So it was.
Which song was it?
It was the whole project.
Oh, the whole entire thing, okay.
Yeah, all together. The Bag, which is my big song, was the forefront of it, of course.
Very cool.
No, thank you. So
Very cool, man.
I'm just seeing the consistency turn into
so excited
what it's supposed to turn into.
If you have a project that's hitting 1 million views, bro, then that's like, man, just think about making 5 baller ass projects. Now you got 5 under your belt, and it's like 5 quality projects with 5 million. Like that's a beautiful thing.
It's fire.
I would be so motivated if I was you to just be like, bro, if I can do this once, I can do this 100 times, and well, as many times as your artistry allows it to, right?
Of course, yeah.
Because everybody has that bank within them. I do believe in the fact that everybody has a certain amount of creative thoughts inside and expression and all these things, and one day it does max out, and it could be for whenever. It could be whenever, but as long as you get it out, that's the important part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's always the argument about hanging up when it's time to hang it up, but you're not at that point. I'm just saying that there is that general conversation of like, there comedians even when you watch, I love Chappelle, but you watch Chappelle, like you could tell like there was a certain amount where I was like fucking straight fire, just killing you, and now it's more like, all right, it's recycled, kind of same nuances and same everything. You know what I'm saying? Just different points, but.
That's fair.
I kind of believe that. I could be wrong about that, but I do think that every rapper has a limit eventually, or artist has a limit eventually of creative expression. Quentin Tarantino's about to make his last movie, and I don't think it's just because he wants to make his last movie. I think internally he knows, like on the creative end, it's like this is all I can put out. Like this is it.
I don't know, man. I kind of disagree.
You think?
I feel like artistry is about true artistry, and as far as like maxing out the content that you can put out, I feel like it's based on experience. I feel like a lot of people get redundant because their experiences and their environment doesn't change after a while.
Oh, let me ask you this then, and I do agree with that too, but what's an artist that you've seen ever that the content that they're generating now is better than the content they were generating 20 years ago? Maybe Nas has like a couple things going on.
I won't, and I thought about Nas because I haven't heard his last project, but I feel like Nas, like the Nas's, the Jay-Z's, I feel like I'm not going to your argument, I won't say it's better. I feel like it's well off enough to where it's not a drop off with a lot of those artists. Wayne, mind you, I say that because there was a point where it was like, Wayne, stop fucking rapping, like please. But I feel like he picked it back up. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, he just dropped some new shit. I think it's with Tiger or somebody.
And he slid on that bit. Oh my God.
I was like, this is the only rapper that I know that's been doing it this long and this great. Like, that's how when I heard that track with him and Tiger, I was like, this is the only person that's
when I want to say, because Wayne, I don't think Wayne has missed in like the last 2-3 years. He has a song with Corday that I don't think a lot of people heard. And I think it was that feature, and it was one more feature before that I can't think of, where I was like, bro, Wayne still got this shit like this long? That's crazy. But Wayne is a prime example.
And his imagery, too. Like, if you watch his music videos, it's like, man, this guy's still moving like he's like 20. Like, he's still moving like he's...
Wayne like 40-something?
Yeah, he's probably... Yeah, he's just literally, that's just a pure artist at the end of the day. Like, and it's funny because they say he's like this generation's godfather of rap. Like this generation, in particular.
Absolutely.
And you just wonder what the next one's gonna be because Dreadheads is everybody's got Dreadheads, and you're gonna wonder when like they start going, hey, we gotta look different now because everybody has Dreadheads now. We gotta find a way to look different. I'm just signed an artist that looks pretty damn different. Easy Mill looks completely different.
I think I heard Easy Mill.
Yeah, Easy Mill is Eminem's artist. And
Easy Mill's fire.
You do wonder if like the Dreadheads are gonna stop eventually, where it's like, all right, boys, we maxed it out, like we did it.
I don't know, and it'd be hard because I got locks, so it'd be like, ah, damn. But I don't I don't look at it like that because it's you got people who get locks just to color them and shit like that, and that's fine. Like it's your hair, do what you want to do. But then like the way that I carry myself with my locks, like my locks represent my journey. And that's why I keep them neat. I keep them clean out. You know what I'm saying? I take care of my hair. Of course, I have somebody to retwist my hair, stuff like that. But it's not so much as, I got locks for my image. I got locks for my personal journey, and it just fits my image type of deal. So I feel like it's a difference between those two. And I hate to even say it like that, but those two different types of lockheads. You know what I mean?
It's getting crazy because now you're watching interviews where the only reason the rapper's being interviewed is because of their haircut. It's like, oh, look at this crazy hairstyle. It's like, that's why they're on the interview. It's not even about the music anymore. It's like literally just because look how her head is shaped like a star. That's crazy.
That's no different from somebody sitting on this couch because they went viral.
Yeah,
it's gimmicky. You know what I'm saying? It can be gimmicky. I'll say that.
Yeah, the Island Boys, prime example. Island Boys, like literally, what is that? Like that's just two guys with crazy haircuts and tattoos, and it's like, oh shit.
Nah, they wildin'. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, they been wildin'. They
kiss each other and stuff, right? All that stuff.
Didn't they just come out?
Oh, they came out?
If I'm not mistaken, I could be horribly wrong.
There's one thing about being gay that you can say about whatever, but you kissing on your identical twin?
That is weird, bro. Yeah. That is actually... Hey, listen, to each his own. I don't judge nobody.
And Lil Wayne, and Birdman was kissing Lil Wayne, man. It's a hard argument to make, man. And you know what? We're not going to get into that discussion, all right? Because that's a cultural thing.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say about none of that.
We can't touch it because you could be working with Lil Wayne one day. You know
I plan on working with Lil Wayne. I ain't say Lil Wayne's name. I was gonna put that out there.
I said Lil Wayne's name, and he skates around here, so we'll be careful. But it's true though. But but anyway, with everything that I'm looking at, like we talked about with Stretch Money and stuff like that, somebody is trying to propagate the scene, and luckily they got people pushing pushing the wagon forward, which is you. You're the guy that's like, all right, I know you keep saying you don't want to say your group or your. But it is partially you're one of the people that's pushing this thing forward. I appreciate that. Yeah. So it is what it is at the end of the day.
I just say it like that because I know it's not just me. I do believe I am one of the front runners though, and I do pride myself on that. But I know it's not just me. It's a whole community of us. But no, I get what you're saying.
And so when the time comes, when that gate opens, you're going to be one of the guys at the front that's like, all right, we've been doing this, and you deserve it because you've been doing it consistently. You never stopped. You never switched up. You didn't try to hop to the other side. You're like, we're going to keep doing this until we see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then once you get there, you're going to meet a Stretch Money, or you're going to meet maybe Babyface Ray or somebody or whatever that's going to help blend it in, or maybe nobody's going to be there and it's just going to be like, yo, Asaka just did it on his own, and all the guys from the underground just found a way. It sucks because
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm sorry. I mean,
no, you're good.
No, I was gonna say I ain't gonna hold you. That's my goal. Like my number one goal, and I keep bringing up my thought process the last time I was sitting here, but the drastic change I've had is incredible to me because it is part of why I'm doing what I'm doing. But my goal is to be undeniable, whether you let me in that gate or not. I'm getting through that gate, and when I do, I'm leaving it open for everybody else. That's my goal. So I appreciate you saying that because that lets me know that I'm taking steps in the right direction to do what I set out to do.
Oh yeah, for sure. Is there any projects you want to announce?
No, I think the concert was it. And hey, click the link in my bio. I don't know. I got videos.
Well, look, you got a song that took 4 years to be fully discovered, right? So Absolutely. That means you have a bunch of other fire tracks that haven't been probably fully discovered yet. So the best thing for people to do is just go to Asaka the Renegade on all social media platforms and
tap
through
into
Apple
that
Music.
Space Tape, tap into that 3-pack. Yeah. Y'all might get a fall pack. I kind of like that idea. I don't know. Tap in. Yeah, I definitely got some something I want to do. This idea I want to present to the city, and I can say it here because I definitely want to collab with people who are interested. But I don't know if you remember like VH1 Unplugged and like that type of stuff. I want to do that here, but I don't want to just limit it like just underground. Like I want it to be, but I definitely want it to be professional for sure. But I want to film. I want to make it like a real thing where people come here and watch these artists perform with live bands and present it for YouTube content. I really want to build that up. Like I want to start like implementing little nuances throughout the community as far as like bringing attention to the underground basically and building up from there. So that's something I'm planning right now that we can look forward to.
That's a great idea. All it takes is proper content creation.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one thing too, if I could speak on the underground's note, was when I'm watching these guys and there is a lack of, and it's unfortunate because most of them aren't funded. Like I think I had Lynn the singer on here, and she's like, "We're fucking broke."
That's my baby.
She's like, "We can't do shit. We're fucking broke." She's like, "We don't." Or I think it was not. I don't think Lynn the singer said that. I think the Milan said it.
Okay.
Yeah, and she said it. She's part of that same kind of scene. So
yeah.
She was like, "We don't have fucking money." She's like, "We got 9 to 5 jobs. We don't have fucking money to look like you. How the fuck you guys look in your 4K imagery and shit like that?" So that's a humongous thing. It's if you guys can invest in it, find a way to invest in it. And with what you're saying, if you bring a crowd and you can fund that camera quality and somebody who actually really just makes great quality content, then you have a better way of being seen. So, Asaka, man, I'll have you back on again soon, man. I appreciate you being a part of this, man.
Yes,
It's
sir.
always
Thank
a
you for
pleasure.
having me, man. I appreciate
we're at
being here.
Parallel Sound Studio, High Low Visuals, shooting these productions. We're out. Peace. Fire.